Mundine Green in 2 days. Oh, you want to come watch that?
You going?
I've looked up all the pubs. Basically, I watched it the other day with my mate. Not the other day. I watched one of Mundine's last fights live on the day with my mate Jose, and I saw him at indoor. I'm like, hey man,
is it worth it to watch it?
I think just like Federer and Nadal, like it's two fighters, both Aussies, 10-year rivalry. They're both at the end of their career. They're not going to have another fight after this. I think it's just funny to watch.
It'll be done.
I actually went to Green's last fight. Like, I actually went to it to watch it.
Oh, yeah?
At wherever it was, Hisense Arena or whatever. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah.
I saw Mundine's, not last one, but the one before that, and he went 12 rounds, and he did outbox this little German kid who was like a champion. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's on Friday.
Yep.
But did you see what Mundine came out and said? He's refusing to stand for the national anthem. Right? This is the thing, right? We were talking about it indoor. Like, he finds it offensive, la la la. And I'm like, okay, well, they did that in the States, when all the black athletes started kneeling or sitting during the anthem because they refused to. They don't see it as representing them. It's like the. It's
well,
like
it does because you're American or Australian, and
dude, does the Australian flag or anthem represent you? How do you feel? Pull up. Actually, I'll do it. Right, I got it. Do you feel the flag? We've talked about this before, and I remember what you said as well. Do you feel the anthem or the flag?
I have grown since then, so it might be a different answer.
Okay, do you feel like the anthem or the Australian flag represent you as a person?
I've never really taken to it, to be honest. But
why?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why? No, honestly, why?
I just thought it was stupid.
What's stupid?
Just the whole thing, standing there singing it.
Well, the quick thing about Mundine...
What's stupid? Singing the anthem itself? Like, why do we have an anthem? Or you just don't find them...
I always used to find it silly.
No, you used to sing at assembly, like, on Monday mornings.
Yeah, I used to think it was silly. I was like, why are we doing this?
Would you feel silly if you were singing a different anthem?
What if it was Enter Sandman by Metallica?
That'd be mad. No, I don't know. I didn't get it. I never got it. I was just like, why are we doing
it? Mundine, when he was playing rugby league, when he played for St. George Illawarra, right? They made the grand final, and he stood for the anthem.
Okay. I found... this is why I'm bringing it up, right? Because I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? If I was an Aboriginal, then the anthem... I'd find the anthem offensive. It means jack shit. If I was an Aboriginal or had Aboriginal heritage, I would be offended by the anthem. Like Invasion Day, like Australia Day. It's fair. It's okay to feel offended about Invasion Day. I'd feel the same way about the anthem. It doesn't represent who I am. Like, the anthem itself, to me, I don't connect to it. I feel when I hear the anthem, like, when we watch sporting events or whatever, I feel a sense of patriotism or nationalism because I am Australian. I have grown up here. I was never taught. Like, dude, I connect to it at some level, but at the same time, I don't recognise the flag because I see the flag and I see the
Union Jack.
Yeah, it's the Union Jack. Like, that doesn't mean shit to me. We need to be a republic as far as I'm concerned because we've come that far, right? So when Mundine said...
Not when we still got Crown land all over the place.
That's what I'm saying. So when Mundine said, I'm refusing to stand for it because I find it offensive or whatever, it's like, yeah, you know what? Everyone gets offended by shit.
I can see his point.
And I can see his point. I'm not going to have a go at him.
No.
Because the same critics would have to go at everyone in the States instead of going, oh, congratulations, well done for taking a stand. Then Mundine does the same thing. It's like, oh, he's only doing it to cash in. La la. It's like, dude, Mundine has never been quiet about his political opinion or whatever. Like, he was the first critic. Remember September 11?
Yeah.
What did he say? He said America brought it on themselves.
Yeah.
Because they brought it on themselves. Like, it was bound to happen. That's what Mundine said. In 2001...
Massive flack.
16 years ago, 15 and a bit, Mundine was the first person to have the balls to say, well, they brought it on themselves. What do they expect to happen? It's not like he said, well, they fucking deserve it. They should burn in hell. He just said they brought it on themselves. It was bound to happen. He got banned. How many years was he suspended? Like,
ages.
A year, 2 years? Like, he lost his title, couldn't defend it?
Yeah. That's pretty hard.
Like, dude, to be, like, whether you like Mundine or not as a person, like, he's a prat, right? But he's fucking honest. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, Akka.
Yeah.
Remember Akka?
Good old Jace.
Yeah. Jason Akermanis did the same thing, man. Just said whatever the fuck he thought.
He
got canned for it.
Yeah.
Favola said what he thought, got canned for it.
So these outspoken people, you know why? Because it's got censorship people.
Yeah, it's like these people...
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's why I was thinking about it, right? I just did a search about... I wanted to get the lyrics up for the Advanced Australia Fair, right? Because the truth is, like I said, when I hear it, I feel a sense of patriotism because I am proud of this country to some degree, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like everything about it, but we are Australians, whether we like it or not.
We are Australians.
Yeah.
You are, we are.
I love how that's not even the anthem, but that's what...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as in, like...
That is not the anthem. I just thought,
Yeah, it's not...
Australian.
Yeah, dude,
Our anthem is disgusting. It really is.
It's our theme song for this podcast, but when Johnny and I came up with it, we were taking the piss. I'm like, it'd be the funniest fucking thing. Because it seemed... You got two wogs, and you like from your like background, it's like we actually represent Australia. This is a big part of the demographic in this country.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's cool.
We don't all have fucking English accents anymore, and you know, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we are the next leg of the generation. Like
The new generation.
I reckon Australia's flag
Australia
should be
2.0.
yeah,
I reckon
man,
Australia's
exactly.
flag should be like two crocs punching on, man.
A kangaroo and a croc. Yeah, just going at it.
Yeah, come to Australia, cunts.
Yeah, man. All right, get this. I just looked up an article. I was trying to get the lyrics, all right, because I wanted to read them just to see. Yeah.
Is this the Australian anthem?
Yeah, but I just found an article that says 10 things you should know about the original, about the anthem, right? Advanced Australia Fair. Get this. You should know about the original lyrics. I'm just going to read it verbatim, like off this article, right? Most Australians know the two verses of the current version of the song Advanced Australia Fair, or at the very least know that they have the word "girt" in them. Yeah? Right?
Good. Yeah.
However, the original 1879 lyrics didn't mention having boundless plains to share, right? But instead had a verse about going to war against foreign invaders and another about Captain Cook.
Really?
Yeah. Do you want to hear these lyrics?
Yes.
We'll
Verse
kill
2.
those abos. Yes, we will.
Are you going to do it like I sang Britney?
We took them blood and sand.
Wait, are you going to do it like I sang Britney? Come on.
We raped their mothers and their children. And then we stabbed their dads.
You're a cunt.
I like it.
I didn't say it. You're just He's coming up with shit. All right.
We ate salted meat down below on the ships.
He's trolling
We all had
himself.
scurvy.
You're trolling yourself. You're trolling yourself. There is no bounds to his trolling, man. All right. Let me read the verse. Right? When gallant Cook from Albion sailed to trace wide oceans o'er.
Gallant Cook.
So over there. True British courage bore him on till he landed on our shore. Then here he raised Old England's flag, the standard of the brave. With all her faults, we love her still. Britannia rules the wave. In joyful strains, then let us sing Advanced Australia Fair.
So it's basically just like a love song to England before we changed it a little bit.
Hang on. You should know that the other songs that could have been our anthem. This is one that usually pisses me off, right? It's got... More recent times there have been calls for everything from Cold Chisel's K-Sand.
Oh.
Dude! Or the Warumpi Band's My Island Home to become our new national anthem. But in the 77 plebiscite, there were 4 songs put forward for the nation to choose between. I love how these are the 4 songs in 77, right? How many years ago? 40?
40 years.
40 years ago, these are the songs they put,
Today.
Dude, God Save the Queen.
Oh.
Nothing to do with us. Advanced Australia Fair. Waltzing Matilda and the Song of Australia. Waltzing Matilda, when people put the argument that should be our anthem, I died because, ironically, it's so fitting. It's about a fucking dude that steals a sheep and then kills himself while evading cops.
Yeah.
Literally. He steals a sheep.
One of my boys.
One of my boys. School? Waltzing Matilda.
Yeah.
Forcing Kilda.
Hey, man. How did the rest of that song go?
Mate.
Waltzing Matilda.
Wait, I'm going to do it in the Britney voice too.
Britney. Hang on, get this right. Most of us are familiar with the first 3, but the Song of Australia is a bit more obscure as it was penned in 1859.
Oh, this is going to be racist, I feel.
Get this. Among other points of interest, dude, it is the only thing I've ever seen that mentions the phrase grassy knoll outside of a reference to JFK. It also includes lines like, there is a land where honey flows, where laughing corn luxuriant grows. And there is a land where floating free from the mountaintop to girdling sea.
Girdling.
It's kind of nice to know that there was a 50% chance in the original vote that we could still have made jokes about archaic synonyms for surrounded. Yeah, floating free, girdling sea. All right.
Faggots.
You should know the word girt. If there is any word that vaguely does Australianness, if there is any word that vaguely Australianness more than the word mateship, it would have to be the girt. No single word has done more to unite us all than this in-joke identifier of Australian identity. Whether it is Seinfeld-style rants along the lines of, what is the deal with the word girt? Can you imagine that? What is the deal with the word girt? To imagining police informing criminals through a megaphone, come out with your hands up, we have you completely girted. It is a word guaranteed to always be good for a laugh, even at its mere mention. Girt. Right. You should know that Anthony Mundine is not the first person to criticise the anthem.
I want you girt all around my mouth.
Despite the recent controversy...
No, wait, I said that wrong. I want you girt around my mouth.
You're fucked. You're fried, man. You are fried. You're fried. Officially fried.
I know.
Despite the recent controversy around Anthony Mundine's stated refusal to stand from the national anthem, criticism of the song is by no means new. In 2001, there were some renewed calls to replace the anthem, with many suggesting Waltzing Matilda. Then National Senator Sandy McDonald called the song boring, said it should be scrapped.
So I want you in and girt my mouth.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Advanced Australia... Dude, here's something I didn't know. Advanced Australia Fair has only been our national anthem since 84.
Really?
Yeah. It replaced God Save the Queen. 84!
I did not know that.
So you know what?
No shit.
When we were born, it's like we need to change, boys.
Yeah.
Look at these big dong little babies.
You should know...
Make something better.
It isn't protocol to stand for the anthem if it isn't sung in English.
What would it be sung in? Chinese?
Yeah, as a result, like, given the controversy that happens whenever a prominent Aboriginal person refuses to stand, it is well worth noting that, according to the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet, the website,
Here we go. What do they say?
Individuals or organisations can perform Advanced Australia Fair in a language other than English, but this should not be represented as a version of the Australian National Anthem. As a result, protocols do not apply to its use, e.g., it is not necessary to stand when the song is played. Oh shit.
I'm never standing again. I refuse.
Hang on, there was a NITV, that Northern
I still watch
Indigenous...
it. I still watch it.
Some of our nation's most prominent singers and songwriters, they perform their own unofficial anthems, Christine Anu and all them.
I reckon the song
Tree, yeah. I actually saw them live.
Dude,
I feel indie.
you should know that there is a debate about what is meant by fair. In the self-proclaimed land of the fair go, most probably don't think twice about the use of the word fair in our national anthem. However, since we are also a country who made the White Australia policy our very first piece of legislation, after Federation 1901, it's probably not an unreasonable question to ask.
I'm guessing it's a one-sided fairness.
Yeah, no
somehow.
shit. Yeah. Then some other head that sung the anthem at
You know which song we should have? Great Southern Land.
Nah.
Great Southern Land.
This is the song we should have.
Dude,
I'll tell you.
you should know that it could have been worse. Even if you're not a fan of the current anthem, I hope we can all agree that it's still probably for the best that this song never took off. And there's a song, dude, the 1910
version.
It was penned in 1910.
This is going to be nasty.
Composed by... I'm going to show you the poster of this, and you know what? I'll put it up on Facey, or I'll try and find a way to squeeze it in. March of the Great White Policy. Australia, the white man's land.
So this is the original.
What the hell?
Yeah. 100 years ago.
Jeez, man.
Looks like a Freemason document.
No shit.
Yep.
It could have been that. Like, literally. It's called 1910 Song March of the Great White Policy by W.E. Norton.
Well, if that was the case, then Dimmy wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here. You'd be probably president.
I'd still be running around in my bush gear, get up.
Cooking damper.
Get them black boys!
I love how I looked up the lyrics and I couldn't find them. Like, literally. Okay, here we go. I'll see if I can actually get the lyrics. And let's see what we can determine from the lyrics of the anthem. Because I'll admit, I don't remember the words to the anthem every time.
Not like, clearly.
All right, here are the complete official lyrics to the anthem, right? Let's try and figure...
Hey, do you want me to try and say it on the fly and you tell me if I'm right or wrong?
Actually, that's a good idea.
Australians all, let us rejoice, for we are young and free.
Okay. He hits a snag.
Holy fuck, I've already forgotten.
Something toil, wait for toil.
Yeah.
With golden soil and...
No.
I feel like one of those retarded, primary school kids.
Yeah, where they can't name 50 states.
Johnny's mouth is girt by... penis.
Do you want me to correct? I'll tell you what that is. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea.
Yeah, that's what I said, wasn't it?
No, you went nowhere near. And I'll say
You said golden soil.
Luckily, we're recording this.
No, wait, I said with golden soil, and you boys went, nah.
It's we've golden soil and wealth for toil.
Oh, we've golden soil.
We've golden soil.
Oh,
Like
okay.
we've got golden soil.
Close enough.
Golden
With.
soil.
I said with. Close enough.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
All right. Our home is girt by sea.
Yep.
Next one.
Our land,
Our land abounds.
Yeah.
nature's gift.
Yeah.
Our beauty, rich and rare.
Yes.
In history,
In history's page, let every state
advance straight.
advance.
That's it.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
There's still more.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. The last bit I never knew. I never bothered to.
Joyful strains.
Let's get down your all.
Australia.
Oh, the way Nick was dancing there. That's brilliant. Oh, it's rejoicing. Oh, dude, that's funny.
Yeah. All right. In joyful strains, then let us sing Advance Australia Fair. And then there's a second verse.
Yeah, this is one I never knew.
All right. Beneath our radiant Southern Cross, we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this Commonwealth of ours renowned of all the lands. For those who've come across
They must
the
be
seas,
talking about being on the dole or whatever, right?
Yeah. With boundless plains to share.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
For those who've come across the seas, we've boundless plains to share.
Half of it's crown land for a start.
Dude, with courage, let us all combine to advance Australia fair.
Lies.
Dude, that second verse,
It's a lie.
look at what's going on. We're not allowing refugees anymore. Like, but the line itself.
So that
And-
means the anthem should be stricken.
And
Should be
1/3
singing.
of the land is crown land,
Crown
straight
land.
up, which
Yeah.
isn't shared at all.
We don't
right?
share any of it. We've boundless plains to share, but we're acting like we can't let anyone in.
And share what? You know,
Fuck off, we're full.
No room for anyone.
Dude, anyone, if I ever see anyone with a fuck off we're full t-shirt
Read
or
the last
fucking,
verse, bitch.
I will literally slap this on their windshield with that glue that doesn't come off that they use for the I'm serious.
And
for
just
the
that verse
canaries.
highlighted in like a
Yeah.
pink highlighter.
Read this, you dumb cunt. Seriously. I didn't know that line.
There
For
you go.
those who've come across the seas with boundless plains to share.
Lies.
Definition. Anyone that comes from overseas, we've got plenty of room for you.
Yeah.
Everyone's welcome.
But yeah.
What a joke!
We'll send you to Christmas Island. They've got some room there.
Yeah, we might have some space in Manu.
Yeah.
It's not on the part that's girt by a sea, but
Dude, seriously. I love it. This is such a that's bullshit.
so they took away the hard-hitting racist one,
Yeah.
replaced it with like a song that sounds like welcoming and stuff, but really it's just a lie.
Man, you got to see the rest of the verses. As in sung like back then, like 100 years ago or whatever. It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, can I make a vouch for a new anthem?
Something to do with Metallica.
Waltzing Matilda, boo for St Kilda, up for the blues and down for the ruse. And he sang as he watched as Gary Ablett kicked the goal. You come and waltzing Matilda with me. Come on, man.
I like it.
Okay, hang on. Waltzing Matilda lyrics. Okay?
We'll see Matilda.
I reckon you got the Yindy, man.
Slim Dusty wrote Waltzing Matilda. Slim Dusty's Waltzing Matilda version.
Oh,
right?
his version, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, look at these lyrics. Once a jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree.
Been there, done that.
He sang as he watched and waited till his billy bowled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Does anyone know what waltzing Matilda means? Search that. 'Cause, like, if you want, search that while I'm doing this.
Isn't it?
I've got Yossi Yindy on my
It doesn't mean anything, right? It's just the name of the song.
Dude,
like
a swagman is a thief that slept in a swag because he didn't, like, he was just on the run. Dude, when do we see, we're in Australia? Who the fuck would have ever been by a billabong or even knows what a coolabah tree is?
Well, it just says here, Waltzing Matilda is Australia's best-known bush ballad and has been described as the country's unofficial
Down came a
national anthem.
jumbuck to drink out of the billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee. So he stole a sheep. No shit.
Did you know the actual... Here's something interesting for you guys. Photo of a swagman. That's pretty much, it's a hobo.
It's a tramp.
Literally, it's a tramp.
So, the name, all right, the history of it, I love this. It derives from a German word.
Swagman.
Off der Waltz.
That's mad.
Off der Waltz. It's actually derived from the German word. It's got nothing to do with Australia.
Yeah.
Waltzing.
Dude, look, up jumped the swagman, grabbed him with glee. he sang as he shoved that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. So he's stealing a sheep and shoving it in a bag,
Is that what
right?
a jumbuck is?
Yeah. Actually, right, yeah.
Yeah, right? Get this, yeah? Sings a chorus. Up rode the squatter, mounted on his thoroughbred.
Oh.
Up rode the troopers 1, 2, and 3 with the jolly jumbuck you've got in your tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. So the coppers rocked up.
You've got
yeah?
some food.
You've stolen a sheep, like hand it over, or you're coming with us.
Yeah.
Dude, fast forward. Up jumped the swagman and sprang into the billabong. You'll never catch me alive, said he, and his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda. So the dude like said, he'll never take me alive, and then jumped into a fucking
in the water and said,
and killed himself.
So
that's what our national anthem should be.
It's actually on Wiki. It says it's our unofficial national anthem.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
It's a bushranger song, really,
I've
isn't it?
used that song to
It's a
take the
bushranger song.
piss every time on this podcast. I did it to do that message from Duke Leverage.
Yeah.
How funny did it sound?
I loved it.
It was so out of touch with like who the fuck we are. But that's what I'm saying. These fucking idiots are like, yeah, we need to have Waltzing Matilda. The song's about a thief who steals a sheep and then kills himself to avoid getting chased by the cops.
It's a bushranger song.
Are you people for real? Like, remember that
It's because people don't look into it.
what was the name of that singer, that Aussie singer that died of AIDS? He used to sing "I Still Call Australia Home" for the Qantas ads.
You'll call Australia.
How patriotic way.
No, I'm serious. I remember his Peter Allen.
Oh, Peter Allen, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's a better song to fucking sing. It's modern. It literally talks about everything, like, you know,
Everything good about Australia, you call it home. Yeah.
This should be. This is the remix. I reckon it is.
Tree,
Why?
Johnny's loving it.
Yeah, that's the best bit. I saw this live, man, on stage. They're all dancing and shit with the didgeridoos. Yeah, it was cool. At Port Fairy.
Poor Ferry.
Yeah, man. Oh, listen to that didge.
Get this sick. Get this, yeah? The Peter Allen lyrics, right?
I can actually do
I Still
didgeridoo.
Call Australia Home.
You're all about the
Relevant, right?
I can do it better than Aboriginal.
Get this. I've been to cities that never closed down, from New York to Rio and old London town, but no matter how far or how wide I roam, I still call Australia home. I'm always travelling, I love being free, and so I keep leaving the sun and the sea, but my heart lies waiting over the foam, I still call Australia home.
That's a much better anthem.
Yeah, and then there's other lyrics and shit, families and friends, you know, world gets older, good to know you, Jenny, and yada yada.
Nothing racist.
The only thing that I would say that isn't applicable to this, as far as making it an anthem,
It's how he
would
likes
be,
to travel.
he names other cities like New York to Rio and such and such. Our anthem should not reference other cities by name. Maybe it can reference overseas travel.
And the fact that he likes to leave here to go travelling. Like, yeah.
Look, that is... You can't avoid that because we are in the middle of nowhere by ourselves. The whole point of it was the thing of, I still love coming home to Australia. And, dude, I'll be honest, man, as someone who's done a bit of travelling, every time I get on the plane and I'm about an hour away from Melbourne, I start
excited.
getting like, fuck, man.
I'm going home.
Back in Australia. Like,
Yeah.
I do appreciate this country. You know what I mean? And we don't have a history that's rich and long. Like, if you read the Greek national anthem, like, there's a big... Like, your national anthem should portray, you know, who you are as a people and convey, like, a certain emotion and just, you know, like a pride. Dude, our anthem is about garbage. And then when people say... Not garbage, but it's just, like, irrelevant. When people say Waltzing Matilda should be the anthem, I always look at them like, you're out of your fucking mind. That's the last thing we want to be portraying. A fucking swagman...
You just read it. It makes no sense.
that steals a sheep and then kills himself to avoid going to the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah, good work, man. That should be our anthem. Fuck off, we're full. And they're singing Waltzing Matilda at the rallies. Like, you cunts are fuck.
See, Greece's national anthem, a hymn to liberty and a hymn to freedom. That's it. That's the start of our thing. So the lyrics, I won't read them all, but...
Like, look, you can take any country. Like, we're not just saying... We're using Greece as a point of reference because, you know, we have Greek heritage. You know what I mean? Like, even America's national anthem. You know, everyone gets riled up when you hear the national anthem, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the land of the free and the brave.
Yeah.
Home of the brave, land of the free. Like, that's mad.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know what... I've never looked into the anthem as the way we've just done now.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say, oh, it's so much better than ours or whatever. But it should convey some sort of unification or just something everyone can get behind. Come on, man.
Well, I've just done a translation on the...
Yeah.
Just a quick... It's the literal translation.
Quick summary.
So, I recognise you by the fearsome sharpness of your sword. I recognise you by your face that hastily defines the land's borders. From the sacred bones of the Hellene...
Of the Greeks, the ancient Greeks.
Arisen and valiant again, as you once were, hail, O hail liberty. That's pretty much...
In other words, like, I mean, when we've talked about it, Greece has always been in war because of its situation. And it's, I mean... You got to understand...
all the countries are together as well.
Yeah, you got to understand the Greek Gulf, like where Greece sits, it's a very valuable vantage point, and that's why everyone was always trying to get to it, because it sits basically at the door of the Black Sea, the Mediterranean.
You've got Africa, you've got
Africa just across the borders, you've got the Middle East, you've got the Persians, you've got the Europeans. It's all a big gulf. It's the perfect vantage point for trading, for maritime, for everything.
Yep.
Same as like, Egypt, Lebanon, Libya, Cyprus. Yeah, that's why the Brits are in Cyprus.
Yeah.
Because it's a perfect vantage point to Asia Minor, to the Middle East, and to Europe, and Africa, right? So if you've got a Greek civilization that spans thousands of years, not 200 years like, say here. Thousands of history, and a lot of it's been in conflict, then your national anthem is going to represent something about national pride and, being proud of, like, everyone that's come before you to maintain your identity, and it's all about recognising that. Mm-hmm. That's what's important to them. You search anyone's anthem, it's going to have something relevant to the people. But if we're a new nation and we're trying to come up with an anthem to represent everyone, and the best we can do is...
Girt by sea.
Literally girt by sea, and
we welcome others.
We've got plenty of land to share.
I'm sure Australia can come up with a better anthem. I'm sure.
Yeah. Shit changes. Anthems change, flags change. Like, that's the way it is.
I'm voting for Treaty.
Treaty? You're stuck on Treaty, aren't you?
That song's in my head.
Treaty.
It's a good track, man.
Yeah, it's a good song.
But that doesn't represent me, dude.
No, it doesn't represent me because I was born in Greece.
Yeah, that doesn't... Aboriginal, like we've said it before, nothing against Aboriginal culture, but that does not represent Australians.
So what would it take for Anthony Mundine to stand up for the anthem? What would it need to have in there?
It'd have to be an old tale from, like, his people of where he's from.
Or it'd have to be something...
So there is nothing that they could do to satisfy him?
Well, it's not...
Probably him and every other Indigenous Australian.
What have they done so far to satisfy...
I wouldn't say every other, because a lot of them are over it. Like,
yeah, I know, but what have they done to satisfy any Indigenous person?
They said sorry.
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
And they
thanks for your land. And
cheers, mate.
See, the one Australian bombs are right there, mate. Thank you for your land.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah,
cheers. Fuck off.
I'm taking your land. Now fuck off. We're full.
Yeah, we're full. Seriously, you couldn't satisfy anyone like that with 4 days to go before the anthem. You know what I mean? Because it's a matter of changing what's there.
Okay, but this is the way I look at it, okay?
I want to hear your side.
So...
I think you're baiting him now.
It's not going to change, right?
What is?
Like, what's happened.
You're talking about like the way people got here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so he doesn't want to stand for the anthem, so obviously he's never going to stand for the anthem again. You know what I mean? Like, he'll never get over it.
It's not your fault. It's not like anyone else's fault. What happens, happened.
It's happened.
Yeah,
we are removed from that generation now, and...
Far removed.
Far removed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there comes a point where you have to say, okay, let's get along now. Let's not hold on to this and refuse.
In order to do that, you need to put things in place, like on the agenda, to rectify things. If the anthem is that it? Is that the agenda to rectify shit?
I'm just saying.
You said sorry?
One thing.
Dude, okay, look at the Native Americans in the States, yeah? They've got so many things in place, dude. Like, as in Crown land. The Native Americans have got their own form of Crown land. Yeah. All the casinos are built on them.
Yeah.
So they get revenue from it. Like all the settlements, reservations, all that sort of shit.
We mentioned it in another podcast. They've got their own law enforcement. They've got their own everything. They don't get governed by the American rules.
Yeah, not in the greatest sense. Yeah. Like, obviously, they can't just go out and start stealing cars.
No, of course not. But in their communities, American law doesn't. Yeah,
it's
apply.
martial law. It's their jurisdiction.
They've got their own cops. They've got their own cops and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What I think Mundine's trying to say is,
Chief Red Wing.
This anthem for me doesn't represent my people, and it doesn't. It almost like it mocks everyone. Like the way Invasion Day, it was such a big thing. Like, dude, we don't agree with Invasion Day, like with Australia Day, because it doesn't represent. It's like, man, it's just making a mockery of what they did when they got here. You know what I mean?
So what would they need to do to
progress, change something, recognise something officially, and then change something to represent?
Change the date. if they want to do that.
Well, we're talking
that'll
about the
ease-
anthem. Like, is the anthem specific?
Let's say the
like,
anthem.
with Mundine.
Change the anthem. Which, dude, like I said, anthems aren't just set. Anthems change. We had God Save the
So
Queen.
what
Up
would-
until the year we were born, they were singing God Save the Queen.
Yeah.
How silly would it sound to be singing
So
God,
now
Save the,
God
Queen?
Save the Queen.
What would the anthem need to have in there for Mundine to be...
Something that recognises the indigenous owners of this land, for one. You know? For
like
one.
saying
for one.
Yeah, like
Like,
it's
yes,
their land.
yes, we came and took it. We are
No,
sorry.
but not even that. Just the fact that Indigenous Australians actually existed here. Even just giving a nod to the Indigenous heritage of this land. Just giving a nod. Just say, like, you know, the first people weren't Captain Cook and the white cunts from Ireland. It was the cunts that came from Papua New Guinea and, you know, up north. Like that, I think that's what the big thing is. Everyone everyone doesn't see that. Everyone doesn't see that because Mundine is a larger-than-life comic book character that just shoots off at the mouth.
So let's think of a line we could add to appease...
Just add it, tack it
to
in.
appease Mr. Mundine.
So halfway says, remix! Remix! And you just get Mundine to drop a verse, you know?
Yo.
Yeah, you start the 808 kicks. It was
Traditional
like,
landowners.
yeah, but it goes like hip hop.
And a smash
What's that got to do with
And a
Aboriginal
smash
culture?
Danny Green.
Yeah. it's just about Mundine now. Like,
It's all about him and
he's the
Danny.
only Aboriginal, only one in Australia. You know what I mean?
I'm just thinking, like... Because you know my stance, like I feel like people should get past it and let's all get along. But
Yeah.
and you always come back at me saying
Because nothing's...
you can't because it's still raw. You went in that situation.
Yeah, it's because nothing's
But I-
actually been done. You can't just say, yeah, sorry, and then move on.
There has been things done, like
What, man?
They have the fucking Aboriginal round on the AFL. They said sorry.
They give him a game of footy.
No, but dude, that's a big thing.
You just see the CEO just having a smoke. Mick, you know, yeah, what is it? Yeah, it's like,
I reckon these
But,
boys can
dude,
play.
Dude, how many people watch the AFL, right?
who cares?
And it's a big fucking thing. Like, we are recognising these people. Like you said in the song, he just wants recognition.
But that's
the whole round is
dude,
about recognising Aboriginal.
That's a round of sport. The last
Yeah,
episode,
okay, it's sport, but
The last episode, we spent literally an hour talking about how sport is too focused and over sensationalized. And now you're saying because you give him a round in the AFL, that's enough to
But
show
it's
that
not
we
just
care.
around in the AFL. It's like the whole week leading up to it. It's like talks about.
So we're giving them seven. We're giving them 7 days.
Yeah, how many years did they wipe out the... Dude, the population...
Fuck off, you're making me sound like a fucking white Nazi or something.
It's just
I can see Isaiah Wildright coming out.
Do you know what he...
fuck off.
As he drives up in the car, he's got like the white suit on, like the colonel from Kentucky. The Stinson hat and like the bolo tie.
Cigarillo.
Yeah, man.
Nah, come on.
I'm a teach that next something too about this nation's
Ivory
history.
steering wheel.
Yeah, man. Ivory. Everything's ivory, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Get over it.
no.
Get over it, everyone.
I know. I can
Including
see,
whites.
No. I can see both sides. I can see what you're saying because
look,
Dude, this is the thing, right? This is the fucking be all and end all. It fucking happened. You and I didn't make it happen. Me and Dimmy didn't make it happen. It fucking happened. These idiots came. All right, it happened. Now let's just get along. Let's
look how
fucking.
frustrated he is.
Because it just seems, to me, it just seems like it's a perpetual thing that just goes on and on.
It will until something's satisfied. And
Like
so
what?
Far, dude,
What needs to happen apart from AFL round?
But will it?
AFL round? It's just like they get Thorne Fraser out there to do the first bounce. It's like what the fuck?
The the country.
Wait. During the NFL, do they have American Indian round where they come out and hunt
No,
elephants?
but they've got Black History Month.
I've never even heard of that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, do you know what, man? There are indigenous owners
I'll look it
to
up
every
right now.
every place in the world. That's what a lot of people don't forget. Like the word Aboriginal doesn't
mean Australian.
it doesn't mean
no, it's
Australian
Aboriginal
Aboriginal.
people, yeah.
Aboriginal means native to that land.
Yes,
so
yes,
the Native Americans are Aboriginals.
I knew that.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying
Don't try
a
and
lot of
fool me,
people
I
don't. I'm just saying a lot of people
Yeah.
don't actually know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. Like there are indigenous owners to every place on the planet. It just so happens that the indigenous
And you know
owners,
what? There were indigenous people before the last indigenous people.
at some point,
Right.
before like Neanderthals
Yeah.
rose up and the Homo sapiens started wearing shirts and pants. Like, yeah, there's obviously an Indigenous somewhere. But that's the whole point, that Australia has been pretty blasé as far as recognising that, like, dude, the slaughter. Like, I remember some crazy statistic. The population of the Aboriginal community, like the population of the Aboriginals here in Australia, man, between 2 decades, the numbers dropped like 80%. Like something stupid. Like, can you imagine 80%? Like a genocide. It's a mass genocide. Like, dude, like, you look at what happened in World War II, yeah? The mass genocide of Jews, and not just Jews, gay people, people with special needs.
Polish.
Yeah. Exactly, right?
This picture just sums it up.
What's that?
Hey, they're both fighting. It takes 2 to tango.
Yeah, these guys are defending like who the fuck are these people? You know what I mean? Bang!
Who the fuck is this guy?
Dude, like the mass genocide in World War II, that's exactly the same thing. Like, and that was in a small period, right? They just come in, wipe out, move on. That's what happened here. Except it happened a lot earlier. But it's like as if, like, that's it. And I'm not saying Australia's the only place that do it, man. Like, the Native Americans took forever, and they're still getting reparations. And then you got the whole... Dude, why is it...
But, like, I feel like, it's not like... Like, there is a lot of love to Aboriginal people. Like...
Are you joking?
No.
Where are you coming from? Are you just going by Kathy Freeman and...
No, I'm just using...
Eddie Betts?
I'm using AFL...
Eddie Betts!
I'm using AFL round...
Eddie Betts!
I'm using the AFL round as an example, but the amount of love shown to Aboriginal people, like, over that whole week...
Betts.
Is
Eddie Betts!
We love Eddie Betts,
Sorry,
man.
dude, that's just funny. Eddie Betts.
Sorry, Johnny.
Eddie Betts! Michael Long.
Great players, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie Betts. Cyril Rioli.
I don't know one person that hates Eddie Betts, man.
No, man.
Sorry, continue. With your...
Sorry, dude.
With
I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at him.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's, like, as much hate towards them as people will say, like...
It's not about that. It's not about hate towards them. It's about rectifying what has happened.
Well, you can't rectify it, like...
You can by starting to address it.
But it has been addressed. It's fucking Aboriginal round. It's fucking the biggest thing in Melbourne, like, for that whole weekend.
So you're saying... Hang on. So you're saying because we give them Aboriginal... Because the Indigenous Australians managed to achieve Aboriginal round...
But it's not just that. It's not just that.
Think
There's
about
other things.
There are communities up north where everyone's just got massive cultural issues, like, you know, all the shit that's gone up anywhere. There's a big gap between the quality of life of Indigenous Australians and everyone else. There's a big gap. Right, in education, in health, welfare, all that sort of shit.
This is the other thing you hear about, right? They get great benefits, Aboriginal people, right, from the government.
Yeah.
Like, even if you have, like, a quarter of Aboriginal...
Or Torres Strait Islander.
You get, like, crazy benefits. Like, I've heard stories before and read things. Like, it's crazy. Like, you get a lot of money. And a lot of the time you hear about, they're given, like, houses to stay in and stuff, but they don't want it. They don't appreciate it. They say, we don't want that. And they burn their houses down and shit.
Because it comes from the white man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally because it's a slap in the face. It's a slap in the face.
How?
You know what it's like? That's like
What do we have to do?
Okay, hang on. First of all, right, don't get all narky.
No, I'm just trying to, like,
Okay,
reason
well,
it in my
think
head.
head
Like,
around it,
give
yeah.
them houses, give them lots of money. They don't want that. What else do we do?
No, because...
Like, how do you fucking...
Do you know what that's like? That's the equivalent of that is me walking into your house. You didn't... Let's just say you were there for 200 years. I've just walked in.
Oh, motherfucker.
Dude, I've walked in, put you to work in the fields, you know, shot your wife, and then sent your kid to, you know, a white family somewhere to get reprogrammed. And then after, like, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years of this just going on, and you're like...
I'd be dead by then.
If you're not dead,
I'd be dead by then.
Your child is growing up, like, what the fuck?
I'd be dead by then, you'd be dead by then, and your children would be different people to you.
No, your children would remember their father getting fucking carted off to the slave mines and its mother getting killed.
Yeah,
and then my grandpappy turned around and say, "No, I'll tell you what. Here's a couple bucks. Get over it." You don't get the land back. You don't get shit
It's
back.
like a couple of bucks, though. It's a fucking house and, like, plenty of money to live.
Yeah, but dude, make up for the slaughter of your people, and then just the progression.
You can't make up for the slaughter of people. You can't bring them back.
But you can't expect to just throw a couple bucks, whether it's a house or whether it's a home and land package, at Metricon Davis. Right?
So what's the answer?
Like, yeah, mate, we're really sorry about that mass genocide that totally dilapidated your entire breeding. Hey, here you go, mate. Here's a house and land package.
Okay, then answer me this. Answer me this then. What needs to be done for them to willingly take it and say, okay.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How much money does the AFL make off Indigenous round?
But what needs to be done?
I'm asking you, how much money does the AFL
I have
make
no idea.
off Indigenous
I have
round?
no idea.
Could you put a number on it? No, you couldn't. It'd be stupid amounts of money. How much money would the AFL...
But everything makes money. But at the same time, they're raising a lot of awareness for this is Aboriginal people who used to live here. They are the rightful owners.
I'm telling you now, the marketing behind... Like, dude, Franklin, one of the most marketable players in the AFL, how much money do you reckon he pulls in for the AFL and the local government? How much money of that do you reckon the local government puts back into the Aboriginal community for whatever reason? None! Like, it'd be minuscule. There'd be a token sum.
I actually don't know, but
I don't have the statistics. I'm just saying, okay.
So what would need to be done to appease them?
Do you know who you ask? You ask people that get paid to sit around all day and scratch their asses and think about society's issues and how they can better this country. Dude, I go to work every fucking day and I'm barely keeping my head above water. You do the same thing, so does Nick. All of us. Who do we put our faith in? Our elected officials. What do these elected officials do? Squander fucking money on appearances at fucking... Dude, did you see the thing about the pollies using taxpayer money to turn up to sporting events?
Yeah.
Why? Oh, well, you know, they want my time to go there and then talk about... Be accessible and talk about Parliament. You go to the NRL Grand Final when you're going there to talk about Parliament to community. Like, are you joking? That's how they justify it, dude. They justified sporting event trips in boxes. Like, you get a fucking a skybox at MCG, you know, corporate events. Oh yeah, I believe it should be taxpayer. Dude, no one would ever get the dream of getting a ticket to the grand final. These cunts are going there first class and then justifying it because they're making themselves available to the community. Are you fucking kidding? You'll make yourself available to the community, take your suit off, go stand in line for 2 days to buy a ticket to the grand final, and be one of the disappointed fucking hundreds of thousands that go home empty-handed. And mind you, grand final day, they treat it like a national holiday. They gave public holiday on the Friday to watch the AFL parade. None of us would ever get to go to that because we'd be working. I wouldn't dream about going to the grand final, man. I don't have the money. I can't take a Saturday off. Are you kidding? And not just me, everyone out there, man. And what about the people that don't give a shit about sports? What about the people that don't give a shit about sports?
And they're like, what's Indigenous round to mean AFL?
It means jack shit. Nothing. Like, yeah, well done. I don't care about that. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, there isn't enough done, or even just raising awareness. Like, man, we know about all this stuff because we talk about it, and now the people that listen to this podcast if they haven't switched off already, they might take something on board as well.
They might research.
They might research into it. Not everyone's like that. What about all the fucking bogans that sing Waltzing Matilda that don't even know that it's about a fucking thief that steals a sheep and then kills himself?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, there are more people out there that think Waltzing Matilda should be the anthem as opposed to people that think, why the fuck would we make a song about a sheep thief as our anthem? Or even the ramifications of what that would mean. Waltzing Matilda's a nice song to sing. Like, it sounds nice. You know, like, I take
But the meaning
behind it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Other countries, man, in some other countries, they eliminate the, like, look at it this way, yeah? There was, you remember Wolfenstein 3D?
Yes.
Right? Wolfenstein 3D. Hang on, I'll see if I can find this. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves.
This is wild right country.
Dude.
My land, boy!
I took it as mine.
Get off my property.
No, but like, so what needs to be done, Timmy? What's the answer, man?
Hang on a second. All right?
Like, do we just I don't know, just leave? Like, is that
leave? We just pack our bags and leave. Where are we going to go? Every border's closed. Where are we going to pack it anywhere, man?
Is that the only answer?
No, it's not the only answer. There has to be an answer. That's not the only answer.
I've got the answer for you. Treat it.
Make a treat.
That'll fix it, man. Hang on.
Yeah. Look, what are your thoughts, Johnny? Like,
I told you.
No, I want to hear more.
I told you.
I talk till I'm blue in the face, but Dimmy just keeps putting me down.
I'm not putting you down. I'm just telling you that there's...
No, as in, like, make a new anthem to involve Indigenous Australians or Indigenous people.
I don't know. Is that the answer?
You know, like, it's a hard one. It's not easy, man. You can't just...
There's no quick fix.
There's no quick fix, and I can see Johnny's point, like, with the whole getting help from the government and stuff, and some people have accepted it and taken it on board. but
Like you can look at
most
it,
haven't.
you can look at it as a slap in the face, but like
I've seen some stuff where on communities, like like government will help in the trash houses and stuff like that. I've seen all that, like, but yeah.
So
media likes to pinpoint that side of things though too.
like there'll be some Aboriginals that will be like they
accept it and it's
they
like,
accept
okay.
it and they're cool with it, right? They're sweet, like, and then there's others that no, fuck you guys.
Because don't forget, there's still communities.
The only thing that's going to appease some Aboriginals is if what I said happens and we all just leave. But that's not going to happen.
That's not gonna, so
let's
yeah,
all get along.
I swear, bring back your.
Let's all smoke.
Let's
Let's all smoke
What
joints.
did you
and get
say,
along.
right?
smoke joints.
I've said this before, yeah?
Bring out the peace pipe,
Dude,
pipe.
I've said this before. Like Wolfenstein 3D, right? Obviously a game about Nazi Germany where you play Polish, an American GI, right, in World War II that gets trapped in enemy lines or whatever, and he's got Polish heritage. His name is Blaskovich, right? You play the game.
And you're in a labyrinth with lots of grey walls for
Yeah,
some
dude,
reason.
it was the most violent game ever, like when it first came out. Groundbreaking, but violent. And there's swastikas and pictures of Hitler everywhere, and you're killing Germans left, right, and centre, right? When that game got released in Germany it's illegal to have any form of Nazi memorabilia out. Like they have it in a few museums, but you can't, in major print, you cannot have swastikas anywhere because of what that symbol represents. Even though that symbol is an ancient symbol, which ironically is all about peace and love and prosperity.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I
right?
looked into that, yeah.
Yeah, in Eastern religion, yeah? Which is sad that they've tarnished that once iconic icon, right? And now it's something completely different, right? At the start of Wolfenstein, like the theme song, I don't know if you remember it.
Pushing my memory banks now.
Fuck, I can't even bring it up multiple. I need someone else to search it.
Talk to me.
Just search.
Room to search.
I died just before.
Just search Wolfenstein 3D Wolfenstein 3D title track. Yeah, the song, right? Because when they released the game in Germany, they removed all Nazi insignia in it. So it's just pictures of flags or random shit,
Flowers and stuff.
Yeah, just random shit. They removed all things of Nazi reference, right? The song at the main title, right? I always used to like recognize it straight away when I used to play. I remember being in Maya when I was a kid, going up to... Dude, Maya.
Yeah, Maya, I remember
You could
Maya.
play Wolfenstein 3D on a Maya computer.
Yeah.
And my mum would be like looking for shit, and I'd be like playing Wolfenstein 3D or Quake.
It was always at the top floor.
Yeah, the top floor was all dark.
Yeah, we used to always go there.
Is this it? Yeah.
Oh, I remember now.
Yeah? Dude, I love that thing.
8-bit.
8-bit sound, right? Do you know what that is? That song's called Horst Wessel Lied, right? Which is, it's called, it's basically also known as, Die Fahne, like, whatever. It's the flag on high, right? And it was the anthem for the National Socialist German Workers' Party from 1930 to 1945. That was a Nazi anthem. No shit. A Nazi anthem. If you read the lyrics, they're fucked. Yeah? But, like, they left that in there. And the game itself got like a massive, like it was already controversial as it was. As soon as they realised that, it's like, fuck man, we're going to scrap this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just from the music. It's an 8-bit instrumental song.
Yeah.
Just at the title. And as soon as someone clicked, like, hang on a second, that's the fucking
That's a
anthem.
Nazi song.
That's the Third Reich anthem. Are you out of your mind? Bang, gone without a second.
Yeah.
Without, just because of what it may mean.
Implications.
The implications of selling the game to thousands of millions of Jews across the world, or anyone that lost anyone in World War II. And that's the same thing everywhere across the world. The second something comes out that it might be slightly offensive, and I'm not talking about stupid shit like, you know, oh, I find that offensive. Like, go fuck yourself. It's not offensive. It's a joke, right? I'm talking about, like, serious shit. So you can't just tell Mundine to just get over it. Like, you know, like, I can tell Mundine, I'll tell Mundine, buddy, you want to sit down during the anthem? Go for it. If you feel offended by it, and because there's a deep, rich sort of history behind it, like there's actually drive, he's not just sitting down because, oh, you know, some random shit.
Obviously, he's like hurt from it or whatever. Like, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of, look at it this way, a lot of shit comes out all the time where it's like, oh, I find that offensive. Like, fuck you, it's not offensive. Like, even if it is, it's a stupid thing to be offended by. Like, get real. You know what I mean? Something like that, you have to take it on board as to where he's coming from. And Mundine just cops it because he's such a loud cunt that no one...
He puts himself out there.
He shoots himself in the foot. Do you know what I find offensive? The Bali Nine, right? What was the guy's name? The two guys that got executed?
Yeah, that Andrew...
Sukanada.
Yeah, right?
Whatever, and Chan.
I was
Suki.
I can't remember if I was reading. This was only a couple of days ago. I can't remember if I was reading a report or if I was watching it on TV or something.
Suki Coke.
And they were talking about how their rehabilitation had advanced, right? Where it was such a shame that they had died. And one reason was they were the acting translators within the prison. So anytime someone... Apparently there was a couple of the guys that got executed didn't have translators. They were from like the Philippines and Malaysia or something. They couldn't speak English.
What's happening? Why are we going in front of these guys?
Yeah, they didn't know. The translators were not made available to them at that point, so they were literally getting carted off to die. I had no idea. Like, where the fuck are we going? Like, they're getting tied up.
Why am I blindfolded? Why are my hands behind my back?
They obviously, they could jerry that they were arrested, but they didn't know why. And that'd be traumatic, right? It'd be a shit thing to go through. But they were talking about the two Aussie dudes, right? How their rehabilitation, it was on point and done so much. I'm like, okay, what was their rehabilitation? Because they were translators in a prison. They managed to learn Balinese or whatever the fuck they learnt, right? In order to translate. Okay, you got a lot of time on your hands. You're going to take something like that on board. But then they were talking about how within the prison they'd rediscovered their faith and became like born agains and started giving like Christian lessons and shit like that and guidance. I'm like, okay, hang on a second. You're in Indonesia, the most heavily populated Muslim country in the world, and your proof of rehabilitation is because you found faith in God again? What about the atheists or agnostics? They don't give a shit about your faith. That doesn't mean to me that you're rehabilitated.
You're healed, yeah.
It means that you found a niche that you can use to your advantage
to try and get
out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Isn't that funny how all these people always find God? Isn't that funny how they all find God?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I find that offensive. When someone converts to Islam in prison, they take the piss out of it. Mike Tyson converted to Islam, Muhammad Ali converted to Islam, and they wouldn't let him fucking fight anymore.
Anthony Mundine
converted to Islam. They take the piss out of it. But as soon as someone either converts or suddenly becomes a born-again Christian, it's like, oh, well, he's found his path and he's on the way. And get fucked. He's a drug trafficker who's on his last leg, and the only way to get out is to become a born-again.
a man of God.
Yeah, get fucked. What does that mean in Indonesia?
No, nothing.
The most heavily populated Muslim country. Nothing.
Squat.
What does it mean to an atheist or agnostic or whatever? Nothing. It means nothing to me. You suddenly decide to take on 2,000 years of mythology? Good for you, brother. Doesn't mean you're rehabilitated. You're still the same fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. But I still feel that they shouldn't have been killed.
Okay, I'm not talking about... I'm not disputing that. Like, that's another conversation.
I know.
But I find it offensive when someone suddenly becomes a born-again Christian in prison, and that's like, well, he's clearly a better man now. Like, fuck off. He was a born-again Muslim. We haven't sent him to the chair quick enough. Turn the extra voltage up. I'll turn my TV off to make sure the wattage is at 100% when they burn his ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I find that fucking offensive.
Yep.
So what does that mean? Nothing. No one gives a shit.
Yeah, so...
I think people shouldn't be offended by anything.
Well, it's easy to say, but...
You can't do that.
I'm offended by your beanie.
Dude.
Cop it.
Finding religion, right, should never be the grounds of rehabilitation. For one, that's just lunacy.
No.
That's fucking lunacy. Like, outright. If you want stupid things in our society, that should be stricken from the fucking record.
Because how many have been on the, death row, but they found God, and their execution got stalled in the 11th hour.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're still just in prison, just in whatever.
If I converted to Taoism or Buddhism, then laugh, good luck with that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to torture you before I kill you.
If you turn into a Christian, a good Christian man...
Yeah. That's grounds to show that you've been rehabilitated. Not getting an education. Yeah. Getting your high school diploma in prison, all that.
Just better, even though you know you're going to die, but no, we're going to become translators and
that's
find
what
God.
pisses me off, man. Like, honestly, that's my grounds for being fucking offended. Like, hard. I can't, man.
Johnny, you offended?
Nah, it's hard.
Do you know what's
it's hard to get
offensive?
me offended.
Do you know what the NAPLAN test is that we do in high schools? You know what? We need to fucking...
Yeah, let me do a stat. Napland?
Hey, good luck with that one. Good luck with that one.
Just write him off.
Yeah, man.
What, I can't type hit a few keys?
No, we're just seeing the second stat he's ever pulled up in 9 months of podcast.
Napland data service, Dimitri?
Talk to me.
BCAA and schools have...
I want informative...
What do you want to know?
Everything.
Ask the newly dubbed statsman over here.
Newly dubbed statsman.
For the sake of what we're going to discuss, all right? Just tell everyone what the NAPLAN test is to people that don't know.
He's got nothing. I would have had it out by now, and we would have been speaking about it.
The NAPLAN data service provides Victorian schools with a range of online reports for the National Assessment Program, Literacy and Numeracy. NAPLAN.
NAPLAN.
The VCAA and schools have joint responsibility for the privacy protection of students' personal information held in the NAPLAN data service. School-based authorised users of the NAPLAN data service are responsible for the use and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't actually
blah, 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 blah.
So,
right.
in essence, I've just gone...
In essence,
I've got a quick version here. Purpose. To provide a snapshot of a student's current reading, writing, language, and numeracy skills.
I did say that in a roundabout way.
They made us do it in high school where you didn't have to do it, as in it wasn't anything that was going to...
preferred.
They said that it wouldn't work towards your overall grades or anything. It was just to get an idea, an indicator of where the students were. And they strongly suggested you did it. So if you didn't rock up, they tried to fuck you over. But it's like, I don't have to fucking do it.
Yeah.
But it's just recommended.
They want to see if you were a donkey.
Yeah. Like, they want to take a quick snapshot. Kids at the gully, they're all donkeys. Kids in Wesley, they're fine. You know, they're normal. Dude,
why
get
the
this.
gully?
What? Yeah.
I'm looking at him, that's why. All right, get this. This came up on the news the other day, and I'm like, what? I only caught the tail end of the thing, so I just quickly looked at it. I found it now as well. Emojis in sample NAPLAN test cause alarm amongst educators. Do you know what an emoji is? That was in the NAPLAN test.
Oh, my God.
Why do we have emojis, smileys, in a NAPLAN test, which is meant to assess your child's, like...
App life, that's why.
High school students are being asked to analyse SMS chats with emojis instead of literally texts in practice NAPLAN online exams.
There goes the pen and paper and everything.
Yeah. Australian Curriculum and Assessment Authority has posted a series of public demonstration mini-tests.
It's like we're going back to hieroglyphs almost.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like hieroglyphics. Ahead of this year's transition to online NAPLAN testing, so they're doing it online, which is fine.
Because I can pretty much, if we're all talking in WhatsApp, I can like pretty much
do a whole conversation
sentence just with two pictures.
Dude,
you both know what I'm saying.
I had my phone down
when I was writing to you, and I said something about
dude, I was
motorbike and stuff, and you sent me a thumbs up, and I knew exactly what you were like.
I was at the
gym. I did the wanking hand with the
I can't remember if I was at the gym. I can't remember where I was, right? But I was busy. Dude, I was either at the gym or I was at Con's house, right? Helping organise a bucks. I looked down at my phone and there was literally like 6 pages worth of emojis from you two idiots. Yeah. It was like an eggplant, a shrimp.
Yeah, the eggplant was portraying your penis.
And you threw the banana in there as well?
Yeah.
The water, the hand job.
You cunts are fucked.
And then Jim said you're
fried. You're fried. So he sends a shrimp.
So I sent a fried shrimp looking at penis.
Yeah. Dude, Year 9 reading test.
Hieroglyphics.
The Year 9 reading test.
Egypt 2017.
Already causing alarm because it asks 14 and 15-year-olds to answer comprehension questions in response to a screenshot of a text message conversation about a teacher's facial hair.
Oh my God.
Students are asked questions about the text, including who sent the first message and whether Mo refers to Mr. Griggs' moustache.
What the hell?
And it has emojis in it.
Oh my God.
Is that fucking retarded?
That's not normal.
It's bizarre.
It's actually not normal.
That's in high school. We're not talking about kids. We're not talking about 4-year-olds where you just use an awareness test where you're showing like the red tree, the green apple, or whatever.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is in high schools.
You know what? That is not fucking normal, man.
They are dumbing down everyone.
Big time, man. Big time.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
And you always hear about like a school in Finland topping fucking all fucking you know, and then they look at like Australian schools or American schools and they're just shit cunts.
When we were in primary school, man, I remember kids coming from Greece, just immigrants.
Off the boat.
Yeah, off the boat. They would be miles ahead. Same with Russians.
Yeah.
They would be miles ahead. I knew a girl that came from Russia, she was in the start of high school when she got here. Dude, she was like doing VCE level shit in year 8, not because she's smart, but because everyone is so much more advanced. The Chinese. You know, like everyone complains when the Chinese come out and just start ripping exams.
Yeah. Because
of course the Asian kid's at the top of his class, because everyone else is a fucking doorknob.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just keep lowering the grade. It's just like,
And they figured out, like in so many other places, that the traditional like schooling system is just obviously ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they've brought in like all these new things in places like Finland and stuff, and it's like just showing like big time like how beneficial it is. But it never changes here. It just stays.
There's got to be a progressive form of education.
Yeah.
Because the world progresses. The way we taught... Dude, go back 50 years, you literally had this starchy old man with like a stiff shirt and a tie at the front of the class.
With a whip.
He'd have a whip, a ruler, and a Bible. That's what he had.
Yeah, and that was your teacher.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine, man, in the 40s, 50s, and maybe even 60s, even 70s? What am I talking about? As far as the 60s, man, can you imagine schools across Victoria where there'd literally be just these starchy old farts putting king and country and God before everything else, and just 9 times 9.
Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't eat your pudding, and you have your mate.
Your mum getting a pudding.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you imagine, that is one of the most horrific things I can think of, man.
Oh.
Just that dude in the shirt, fucking horn rim glasses with an atlas of the world, like on the thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't recognise Afghanistan or half of Africa.
Blacked out.
Yeah, it's just some place. Yeah, like unexplored.
Unbound, unknown lands.
And then you get the cut, it was better in the old days. What are you talking about, man? You didn't know shit.
Yeah.
You didn't know dick.
Yeah.
It was better in the old days.
Tons.
That's dude. Like I hate the fact that everything's going digital and kids don't write anymore. I hate that.
It's gone. Their writing skills are gone.
Yeah, I hate that because when it comes down to it, if you're stranded in the middle of another country with no phone and someone comes along and just yells some shit at you, you're going to fucking draw like a picture of a bottle of water, you know, or food. You're going to draw a hamburger or a drumstick.
I'll just draw a penis.
You're a dickhead. Suddenly your world just changes. Like, well, come on in.
One of my big veiny ones.
All of a sudden he just gets a robe put on him, ushered into a van, and he's never seen again. Living this lap of luxury in the Bahamas.
King.
And we find him, dude. Dude, his missus, his kid. We're looking for him for like years. No one knows where he is. We go.
King Bobby.
We just see a documentary on TV. He's in the background. He's got like a fruit hat and he's drinking sangria. Just dancing.
Oh, my baby. Oh, my baby smiles me.
I go to Rio. King Theroux. Peter Allen. There you go. Full circle.
Oh, that's gold. That's gold.
Hey man, it's the way of the world, man. You can't. Writing's going to be gone. You can't do anything about it.
You know what? I wanted to bring this up around Christmas time because I saw an ad for it. It was late night. I just got back from work, like during that busy period. I was fucked, half asleep on the couch. I saw an ad for this, and I'm like, "These cunts for real?" Search this. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called the YFlikr.
The YFlikr.
YFlikr. So the letter Y and then FLIKR.
YFlikr.
Yeah, have a look at this thing they were selling. And they were making it out like it was the most crazy, insane thing, you know, like buy for Christmas, you know what I mean? Like one of those things.
Oh. What, a scooter?
You can look at the photo of it.
The fuck is that?
That's a YFlikr, bro. Oh, the two-legged scooter.
It appealed to him straight away.
Two-legged scooter, right?
But how you meant to...
And I remembered it, because I remember the episode...
I think you wiggle. I think the point is you wiggle.
You're meant to do, your crazy tricks.
Yeah, but what if you, dislocate your hip or some shit?
I thought about it, because then I remembered, when we were talking about work experience, you know, I told you guys about working at Coles.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about my second work...
Oh, that story with his legs dangling
in
the roof.
Dude, I thought about my second work experience stint, and it was at Target in Chatty. And that was at the time, it was in 2000, I think it was 2000, when scooters first came out. Like, you know, like the... Do you remember?
I remember when they first came out, man.
Do you remember? Everyone had one.
Oh,
yeah?
they were like, you had to have one.
And then they was trying to sell one at Target that was black. Really,
generic.
Looked daggy.
The original was Razor.
Yeah, the Razor one was like just a metal bar with a handle and two wheels.
And you were like,
And they were selling one at Target.
I had ladder wheels on one.
I remember there was this woman that came in trying to buy one for her grandson or something, or a nephew, and she wanted the one that looked like a safety bike, man. It was just like, it was a scooter, but it had like training wheels. Dude, it had like, training wheels on it, like
That's going to be one unhappy grandson who comes to
they were trying, I remember it, because I was only like 15.
Yeah.
But I remember the what's it called? The woman.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, I want this one." Like, and I'm just looking at it. It had like the pads on the bar. Like, it was just totally,
Did you go, love? You don't want that one.
Even I just shut my mouth because I was just moving merch.
You just observed.
I was just the one, like, didn't grab the fucking trolley and help her wheel it out.
I don't know. I'm new here.
I remember the sales. I remember the sales assistants. Right?
Yeah.
They would have only been a couple years older than us because, like, I mean, how old are kids that work at Target? Like
They help
15,
you.
16.
if they're not part of the senior crew,
16, 17.
16 to 22. You wouldn't be much older than that. Like, as in, So I was 15, and these kids working at Target said to her, "Are you sure you don't want the one that you were talking about, like the razor one, like the normal one that we all knew?"
Don't you want the original
She's like,
razor?
No, he's gonna hurt himself on that one. We're gonna get him this one. I remember looking at one of
He's
those
only
guys.
27.
Dude, I remember I'm looking at the sales heads, and they just looked at me like, yeah, exactly what you just said. That's going to be one fucking unhappy kid at Christmas. Like, that's fucked.
Like, oh, thanks, Nan.
And then I thought about it, like, that was in 2017, they were selling this thing, this YFlikr, on the ad like it was the craziest invention ever. And I thought, hang on a second, like 20 years ago we had the normal scooters.
Well, now
they were fun as.
They're selling them on Harvey Norman.
Yeah, now they're selling ones with training wheels, and they had like teenagers in the like the ad looked so progressive, like as in like it was so cool. And
You know what they called it? A Y-volution.
yeah, dude. Are they going to make skateboards with 2 extra legs that come out to the sides?
No, you can't.
And a handle.
You
You seen those big ass skateboards now? Those massive ones?
Oh, the Kahuna ones that
Yeah, dudes, like, go down...
If you're going to skateboard properly.
If you're going down hills and shit, dude.
Yeah, but if you're going to skateboard...
Where do you have hills, man? You can drive out to the Daniel Rages.
Gully?
Yeah, the gully. You don't have hills here. We're flat.
Yeah.
We'll take your kahuna board and your wallet.
Yeah, man. We stacks.
Speaking of skateboarding, man, some of the tricks that young kids are pulling out these days, like... Because I've been watching a lot of videos, like, just on Instagram, they pop up, and, like, the tricks that kids...
You love Instagram.
The tricks that kids are pulling off these days, like, 13-year-old, 12-year-old kids, like, doing, like, 15 gap stairs, kickflip, half flip, like...
Yeah, I know.
Is that what you were going to talk about before?
Nah.
What were you going to talk about?
Oh, when we're talking about...
Bring something up.
Hierarchy.
Yeah.
I was watching Louis Theroux.
Awesome.
Oh, I love Louis Theroux. Yeah, he's cool.
Best guy. I like
Have you seen the crack one? In the States? The crack epidemic?
I haven't seen that.
Man, watch that shit.
I haven't seen the Louis Theroux crack one. That'd be cool, though.
Dude, that one and the neo-Nazi one.
I think I've seen some of the neo-Nazi one. I'm not sure.
One I saw was in, like, I forget where it was. Fuck.
I've seen a lot of them, man.
I think it was Southern, but it was a jail. And, like, the bottom part was, like, a remand centre, like the we have here.
Is it one where he went into the cells and he started talking to the inmates and stuff?
Yeah.
The room with the black dudes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one, man. I've seen them all. I love Louis, man. He's
like,
awesome.
For anyone that doubts in the prison system if there's, like, some kind of pecking order and if it is actually violent, this documentary shows down to a T how fucking violent and how much of a pecking order there is in prison.
Absolutely.
I think it's just a country club, you know what I mean?
Dude, like, these cells, right, they have anywhere between, like, 15 to 25 people, just with bunks.
Yeah.
One toilet, right?
Because you got red block.
Can you imagine sharing a toilet with 20 other convicted criminals that don't give a fuck about your existence?
These cells are full of, like, ginormous black dudes who live by this code that if you come into their cell, you have to face every single guy in a fight to see where you're at in that group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I could not...
The law of natures, man. Like,
It's the law of the prison. And that was the thing. He was trying to get to the bottom of, like, where does this law come from? And everyone said, like, it's just the law.
It's survival, man.
It's what we do.
It's an unwritten rule.
It's what we do.
There's a pack law in every species and subculture on the planet, from the wolf to the ant to the queen bee.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't believe how much these people were just, like, animals. Like...
Dude, they were in there for a reason. They were in there because they had no respect for law, order, civility,
And
any of that
even
shit.
when they're talking to Louis, like, he's asking them, what are you doing? Like, do you feel remorseful for this?
Yeah.
No. I didn't. People that are going to come in here, they're going to get bashed. It's just how it
Absolutely.
is. And there's like some little skinny, like, Mexican sort of, like, dude, and
Yeah.
I felt so sorry for him, man. Like, just having to put up with this shit on a daily basis. Like,
Because he got put in that big room. He got put in that big ass room, and Louis was trying to talk to him a lot so he can get him out of the.
and then they were worried for his safety because they saw he was talking to the cameras. They go back in,
and he's like, oh, I gotta stop talking to you and shit. Like,
That's fucked.
yeah, man, I saw that. It was fucking sick.
I really couldn't believe it, man. It was like hell on earth. Like, it really was.
Yeah. And then you think about, like...
But the craziest thing that tripped me out about the whole thing was...
It's not even the worst prison.
You can go into these cells, right, just while you're waiting to get trial.
Oh, yeah, they're holding
You
cells,
have not
man.
even been proven guilty yet.
It's like, we think I've got something on you. Just chill in here for a bit, and then we'll get back to you.
Like Louis said.
Jerome will take care of you.
Louis said to the...
Tyrone.
Louis said to the warden, he said, what about innocent until proven guilty? You're putting guys in here that aren't proven guilty yet.
Yeah.
They're going to get bashed to within inches of their life.
Money.
Yeah, well, it's how it is.
Money, dude.
And another thing he said, is there anything, do you feel like you can do anything to protect these people?
Yeah.
No. If we hear them yelling, we know there's something wrong, we can go and look, but we can't really go in there. Like, they are powerless to these convicts, dude. Like,
The only thing they can do is
colonies.
The only thing they can do is keep the doors locked. That's what these people are doing. Just keep the doors locked.
Lock up.
Yeah.
and then Louis said,
What's that, boys?
he said, surely there's another way we can protect these people that may not be innocent. And they're like, no, the only way is with a lot of money, like to upgrade the facility to high tech.
Yeah. I remember,
but otherwise, it's just a fucking shanty town.
I can't remember if it was Louis Theroux. He was maybe it's the same one. They were showing overcrowding in the prison system in the States.
There's probably I think he's a couple
There's a couple of them.
I can't remember. Oh no, this one was that. It was another comedian. It's this black comedian with like. He's from Boston. I think he's got like a big afro. He just went to all the prison systems in a certain part of America, and basically, there's overcrowding to the point where like rehabilitation is not like it's not an option. There is no rehabilitation to the point where it showed the breakdown of like prisons that are overcrowded, and then leaving people in waiting cells in jails, and then from jails, like just the breakdown. It's like, okay, we haven't got enough beds in the prison, so instead of bringing him to the prison, leave him in the holding cell in the jail. Then the jail's got too many people in it. So it's like, well, what do we do with them?
Yeah,
and it's like literally just bumping people around.
Yep.
And so by that point, you haven't even been sentenced yet. You don't know what you're doing, but you've spent 6 months in a holding facility somewhere.
Dude,
Or like even lockup, like at your local cop shop, you've got the lockup just for the drunk, the
overnight
drunk guy we picked up. Imagine that drunk sharing a cell with like someone that killed someone, but there's no room in the prison to get to him, isolated, so they just leave him in there with the drunk.
Too bad, yeah.
That drunk doesn't deserve to be exposed to some guy that just killed someone and could be a threat. And there's just constantly like a shift of resources all the way through.
Well, this was like that to the maximum degree. Like, this poor innocent kid was in there with just fucking murderers. Yeah. Like, straight up, serial killers and shit, man.
And that's people slipping through the cracks in that effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How's that fair? But that's what I'm saying. We're so quick to blanket ban shit without even thinking it through, then we don't look at what the system actually is and where there are already flaws. There's no overhauling of the whole system. There's just these rash
decisions decisions
out of nowhere. And that's what Trump did. All of a sudden, he's thinking, terrorism equals Islam equals Muslim countries. What Muslim countries don't we like? Oh, yeah, Iraq, Iran, Syria. Yeah, let's just, we're banning people from there for 3 months.
Was Timothy McVeigh Muslim?
Dude, 3 months. 3 months, that's going to hold to all the issues of migration in the States.
No, it's giving him 3 months so they can figure out the next move.
The next thing. Yeah, right? So 3 months, we're going to blanket ban everyone here. Forget the fact that any of the small related terrorist attacks that America has to have had to deal with didn't come from any of the countries that he's banned. It's that's bizarre. That's one of those cracks. It's the same thing as that kid falling through the system somewhere and ending up in that prison.
Yeah.
They didn't actually look at the whole fucking system and say, where have we fucked up? Where are we fucking up? Where are the leaks? It's like, we don't need to fix the leaks. Let's just dump a big statue of a dick on top of the building, and that'll solve all the problems.
Let's fly Johnny over.
Seriously. And then when the building sinks, dude, when the building collapses because the whole bottom has been eroded and collapses away, we put the dick on the ceiling. Dude, it's got nothing to do with it.
We need more dicks.
Yeah, literally, it's exactly that. Yeah. They were standing around scratching their heads but we had the statue of the dick. Wasn't that enough to save us?
Yeah.
No, dickhead. You had the cracks in the floor.
Yeah.
But they never bothered to fix the foundations of the building. Or even bulldoze the fucking building and rebuild. Sometimes that's the only option, man. You can't just keep patching shit up like a car that keeps falling apart. Eventually, turf the old one.
It's going to die.
Yeah, dude, we do that with currency. We do that with fucking religions overhaul their rules every 3 decades. It's like all of a sudden, it's fine. We don't hate gays anymore, but we don't like transgender.
Yeah.
What? Jesus changed the commandments. But it was Moses that brought the commandments. No, Jesus said that. Oh, did he? Do you even know your own fucking religion anymore? No. That's the point. We're at a point. You know what it is? There we go. We just solved it. We're at a point in civilization, in society, we're at a point where with all the information, because we've talked about this before, we've got so much information coming in on the wire, we don't know what to do with ourselves. We're all fucking confused. We're at a point with all this information, everything's contradicting itself, and everyone's just losing their shit because it's like, fuck, if that's how it is there, and it's like it's here, or that's how it is, and it wasn't like that, what the fuck are we doing? What's right, what's wrong? we're fucked. And everyone's scrambling to patch up whatever fucking archaic system they already have in place in order to keep progressing. Sometimes there is no patching up. You just got to bulldoze and start again.
Overhauling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A big overhaul needs to be done. And you know what? That's probably the closest thing to a solution that we can have, man. Overhaul the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Because you can't just keep... Like, the people... You know, like the Krakatoans that would build their houses next to the volcano?
Yeah.
And wouldn't fucking learn that every time the volcano would erupt...
Hey, you're going to lose
lives. Not a good place to build, guys.
Yeah, not a good place to build. Maybe that's the only place they could fucking find land or sources or whatever, right? But now we have... toils, wealthy toils, and fucking all this expendable land, then fucking
use it.
Yeah, the Krakatoans would eventually get up and move to somewhere else because they could.
They're sick of losing generations of family.
To fucking exactly, man.
Yeah.
Eventually, you stop building by the quicksand and you start building on the fucking terrain because you found it. Well, dickheads, we've found terrain. Start putting some foundations in for something solid. As opposed, do you know how many systems we have in place that were literally created in medieval times? You know, like you said, last week when I was talking about the christenings, and I said, why the fuck are we doing all these, these parlor games? And you're like, it's just something you do.
Something people do.
Yeah. Eventually, someone, like a few more people like me, just say, why the fuck are we doing it? Because
we don't need to do this.
Nick and I always talk about it, dude, especially like in Greek circles. All the stuff like churches, Greek schools, like all that sort of shit. We're not going to do it.
No.
Dude, I'm not going to get up. Like, my parents, my dad, like I said, my dad didn't believe in shit. My mum liked religion. Like, I don't know what her faith is now, right? Like, in a traditional sense, I don't know what her faith is. Yeah, we don't have those conversations anymore. You know what I mean? It just doesn't really come up.
It is what it is. It's like a...
And I know she liked Greek Orthodox tradition, like as far as like the food, the
culture of the Greek
culture
people.
of it, right? And that kept her going for a long time. I'm guessing you get to a certain point, you can't be fucked, with shit, or maybe she takes on something else. Maybe that's her choice, right? I don't know. I'm not criticising her. But, like, Nick and I, man, dude, I'm not going to send my kids to Greek church because I don't give a fuck about it.
No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, oh, you have to go to church. I don't give a fuck. So who's going to pay for the Greek churches? Unless they keep bringing in an influx of fucking wogs from Greece.
Which most likely might happen.
Or you keep people around... Like our generation, you keep people around that do have a strong faith and a connection. Yeah. They just keep reinvesting and start trying to branch out. Dude,
break down the walls.
Yeah, I got disillusioned when I was younger, like with the whole religious thing.
We're this disattached now to shit like that because we're finding like an influx. We spent 30 minutes reading about Sikhism last week, and it sounds brilliant.
Yeah, it sounds better than anything we've ever known.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, the next generation is going to have more shit at the touch of their fingertips, man.
Yeah.
This is just me talking now. My opinion.
I feel like once religion's gone, it'll break down a lot of fucking bullshit.
Of course it will, man. Suddenly everyone's got like wool like pulled from their eyes, and they can see clearly.
Certainly, we're all working together for something, not like holding on to different beliefs that cause.
That's what I'm saying.
Just fucking
like a lot, like dude.
Troubles.
Society started developing at X year. What happened? Like as in modern day society, modern day civilization, but things just bounced out. Like, dude, you know what it's like? It's like the rag and bone man. Yeah, like back in the day, there was a rag and bone man who would literally collect your rags and your bones to sell to people that needed rags and bones. You know what I mean? Or the guy that... Remember in...
rags and bones.
Do you remember in Out for Justice?
Yes.
Remember Out for Justice?
A lot of rags and bones.
Dude, Out for Justice, a guy has that speech about how his grandfather... It was his grandfather. He would see him walk in the streets every morning with a cart because he used to iron, like... He used to sharpen knives and he used to repair shoes.
Yeah.
And then slowly the bell, like he stopped having work because everyone just bought like new knives and new shoes. Because that bell was the saddest sound I ever known. Yeah? It's a guy trying to be an Italian, you know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think like, I need my knife sharpened at home. I can either take it to someone who can sharpen them. I had my old man because he's a butcher, right? But what happens if I don't have that anymore? Or like, you lose that one connection. Because like I had a guy that used to repair dishwashers and shit, but he passed away. Right? So then my go-to was like, okay, does anyone else know anyone? Or do I Google? Or do I just go and buy a new dishwasher or washing machine? Because to call that wog out was $150, and to call the Aussie dude, the bogan, it was like $70, but you may not get it fixed and you need him back again.
Yeah.
Already I'm looking at $200 plus when a new washing machine costs $450 to $600.
Yeah. With warranty.
Yeah. That's like, oh, fuck it, just buy a new one. Yeah. So even these basic systems of like modern day life, they're nothing, man. Like you wouldn't think anything of them, But then you start restructuring government. 100 levels of parliament, 100 houses, senates. It's like, why do we have all this shit for? Why is it so complicated? Well, the whip has to respect the thing and the speaker respects it. Who gives a fuck, man? You know what I mean? Level it. Put a president in, put a fucking bunch of representatives, and you're done.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's not up to me to make these decisions. Like, we're not going to come up with the answers.
We're not going to, yeah, no, but
it's
Aren't we?
you're having our say. No, we're having our say.
It's our opinion. It's our
opinion.
And you know what? Anyone else that disagrees
It's our
with what we're
opinion.
saying
Deal
or
with
agrees
it.
or has a better fucking idea,
Right in.
write in. By all means, I encourage it. We're
Yep.
waiting for it.
But it's like our promo. It's our opinion. Deal with it.
Yep.
Deal with the fact. Deal with the fact there are people that share that have this opinion that, like, say us,
Yeah.
right? And this is an open forum. Like, we don't all just share an opinion because we're sharing an opinion. We spend half the time arguing about something. It's as trivial as chocolate.
Yeah.
You know?
Johnny's redneck heritage.
Johnny's White Australia policy.
And Chiquitos aren't that great.
Yeah, see what I mean?
Did you finish it?
Nah,
This
Chiquito-
guy, when he
Chiquito's
brought you a
alright.
Chiquito last week, he
wouldn't even look at it.
You're going to fucking choke on it. It's a Chiquito. And not his religious beliefs.
His chocolate
Choke
bar.
on that fucking bar.
I gave Indy some. She loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
She had no complaints with the Chiquito.
Did I have
Chiquito's a
that?
good chocolate, man.
Did I have that Chiquito for dinner? Because I was editing the podcast. It took forever for some
You're
reason.
welcome.
Last week's edit took for
Yeah.
ages because we had a lot of clips and shit like that. It took forever.
It was a long ep as well, right?
Yeah. And I got up at some point. I was like passing out. I was in the studio for like 4 hours straight. I got up. The house was all black because like I hadn't turned the lights on. I found it just sitting on the kitchen table. I must have just put it down when I walked in. I ripped it open. I took a bite and I'm like, I'm eating this for dinner? Like, fuck, that's sad.
Thanks, though, Trollman.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thanks for allowing me to eat tonight, Trollman.
Thank you for the Chiquito.
I'm a giver. I'm a giver.
Guys, I'm just going to put it out there. It is 20 to 2.
Yeah, I know.
This is our latest episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
smashed it.
3 hours on the dot.
Yeah.
3 hours?
Yeah.
3 hours.
Oh, my lord.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we should wrap because I'm
smashed
going to have to fucking edit this thing now as
Yeah.
well.
I'll save my sex talk for next week then.
Just sex.
I was going to say,
Welcome to the
like,
schlong hour.
that's what I was thinking about.
The schlong hour.
There it is.
I'm ready.
Pillow talk.
No, I was, like,
Bobby preacher.
I was tripping out the other night. I was thinking, like, do you guys ever, like, look at couples or just, like, a certain friend that you have and, like, picture what they'd be like having sex?
Oh my god.
Do you ever do that?
We used to laugh.
And, like, some people you just can't imagine it. You're like, oh my god, I
guy,
can't
yeah.
think. How would they pump
Someone
away?
had said that years ago.
How
about-
would they pump away?
How would they do it?
Someone said it the other day.
Would he be
years ago
passionate?
at an old job. Like, could you imagine him on the job?
Yeah.
It'd be disgusting. I'm like, dude, I don't want to think about it. I'm trying to eat my sandwich.
I always- I always do it.
I'm trying to eat lunch.
trying to eat lunch here. I don't want to hear it, Mr.
Yeah, man.
I saw that on TV the other day. I died.
No,
Do you do it all the time,
I do
or-
it all the time.
You're disgusting.
If I had the ability to be, like, invisible, that's what I'd do. I'd just go and watch people have
I love
sex.
it.
You're such a pervert.
Power to do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
But he wants to go watch other couples have sex. And
To me, that's... to me...
And not even random.
No.
Like, I want to go see.
mates.
I want to see that
Yeah,
hot
my
bird
mates.
from the bakery. You know, doing it with a girlfriend. You know, no. I'm going to see John from work with his wife. Why?
Yeah, dude.
So you can mock him for it later.
Not even, just to know. Like, how does he do
Why? Of
like,
all the mysteries of the
Hey,
universe.
John.
it? Hey, Johnny, not packing much down below, eh?
So the guy just looks up from his welding kit like, what?
At least you tried.
But there's some people, like, you can think, oh, yeah.
You're a scumbag. At least you tried. Well, it was a good effort.
Like, there's some
Chin up,
people,
champ.
there's some people you look and you're like, oh, yeah, I can picture that. Like, you two, I can sort of, you know, get a fair
You're
gist.
fucked, dude. Let me tell you something. I don't have these thoughts at all, man.
Really?
Yeah,
You
I
have too much
don't.
time on your hands, man.
You got way too much time on your hands,
But
man.
there's some people I just think, like, how the hell do you do it?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
I
just okay, I'm going to say this. We've got a lot of new listeners in the last couple of weeks, all right? Like, the numbers are growing substantially. Thank you, everyone. And
Yeah.
please keep liking, sharing, following everything you're doing. Everyone that's
cuts him
supporting
off.
us.
Let us know how you do it.
I was just going to say, like, there's a lot of new listeners, and they may be just tuning in because they're backdating a lot, right?
Yeah.
But they may be listening to the newest episode, then going back to like an older episode.
I'm a creep.
Your personality is going to go by the last 2 episodes.
Oh no!
It's
a fiend.
We've spent 3 hours talking about racial equality and politics and spiders, and then in the dying minutes when I say I think we should wrap, he starts talking about fantasizing about what other people look like during sex. It's creepy.
It's so interesting to me.
Yeah, what do people
Have you
look
ever thought about being a sex therapist?
Just
as a job?
I'd be good at that. I really think I'd be good at that.
Talk about
Because he gets his kicks out of
He'd
everything.
be sitting there with a chewy and like a pack of something to eat.
He's jogs.
And he's just eating it, and like the person will say something like, something really like personal.
So,
like, I have trouble. The guy would be like, this guy would be like, have his spirit shattered. He'd be like, I was with a woman last night. I've been going with for a while.
Made
It's
me
the first
feel-
time. And he'd be like, I had trouble gaining an erection. Johnny'd be like, that's fucked up, man. Tell me more. I thought you were here to help.
So how did you get around to pumping it? I don't understand.
Actually, now that you said that,
how you do it.
Dude, I saw a video on Insta, something like on today's facts of hip hop. Like it's just some random, like they just put up random shit either from history or current, whatever, goss and album releases and stuff. There's a rapper called BG Knockout from back in the West Coast days, like with Eazy-E, like early 90s. He was driving along somewhere in LA, and it's like, hey man, there's Brian Pumper. There's this dude in a car, just like on the
Brian
next lane.
Pumper.
His name's Brian Pumper. I thought, man, that is the coolest porn name I've ever heard in my life,
Brian
man.
Pumper.
And it just goes, I was like, yo, Brian Pumper, what's a good word? And the guy rolls his window down, he's like, I'm human, just like you. It's the best response ever, man. Brian Pumper.
Pumper.
Okay, look, can we end it on Brian Pumper?
Yeah.
Mr. Pumper.
And then the photo for this episode, for part B, will just be a picture of Brian Pumper, but people will have to listen to the whole thing to get to it. That's how you sell it with sex. The whole episode's about Waltzing Matilda. Sex sells, that's how you move merchandise. Alright, call it, man.
Yeah.
Go. Sorry, go.
It's not just sex. It's like I wonder what people do, like in their shower routines. Like
So they have to be naked or in a vulnerable position.
Yeah,
So you're
Is it a voyeur? Is that what they call them?
voyeurist, yeah.
that what I am?
Pipping Johns.
Yeah.
Pipping Johns.
I think I've got that.
Low down Bobby, man. Like, that's fucked up.
This guy's on his balcony with his binoculars.
I'd love to have
And a smoke. Has to have a smoke.
We're going to get this podcast is going to get shut down.
Nah, it should be fine.
No, it will.
Why?
It'll get shut down. Like that's it. Because this guy's going to one day say something completely outlandish. Like if they don't already hate us for the race crime and like all that sort of the drug use to race crimes, all this like antique opinionated shit, then it's going to be something sexually based.
I love it.
Probably. Someone's going to fear one day for like your dog or like the neighbour's cat. Like you burnt it alive with a magnifying glass or something. Like you're going to say something totally outlandish. I know it. That's what's going to happen.
Like my goat story?
We're going to be we're going to be running for the hills, and cunts with pitchforks will be chasing us.
What episode was the goat story?
Like early on. 7?
It was probably no, it was way later.
Was it? Was it after I came back from overseas?
Yeah, it was after.
All right, so it would have been about what, 18, 19,
maybe
20.
I know I listened to it about a week ago because I've been listening to.
It'd have been late teens.
I wasn't sure if it was when you came back from holiday or just after that.
I reckon it was just
after.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was that second week back, that comeback episode, or the second one after that. It was almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you brought up the rink.
Yeah, the roller
It's the same episode as the rink because on that rink, Boomer Harvey was running along in skates, and there was a goat somewhere on the.
I think so.
Yeah.
I often think about that, and people must think like I did something really horrendous.
When I listen back to the old episodes, I just load them up on my phone. I've got them in like a playlist in the player. So not last week, a couple of days ago, I started cleaning out my phone, as in just because I ran out of space. So I was just taking all the large images and shit.
Yeah.
And when you bring up in your computer, you plug in your phone, and it brings up the Explorer button with all the windows of thumbnails and shit.
Yeah.
I just saw all the thumbnails of all the episodes. And I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about these pictures.
Oh, we did
man.
those.
Yeah, I kept saying we should have done it. We should have done like a wrap of 2016's
Done.
top
Brian
photos.
Pumper.
Yeah, Brian Pumper. Dude, he looks like Craig David, man.
He does, yeah.
Or Lloyd Banks.
Brian Pumper, man.
Brian Pumper.
He looks like a slightly more gangster version of Craig David.
Yeah, bad. But Craig David, have you seen Craig David lately?
No, is he disgusting?
I don't know if I ever mentioned it on a podcast. I don't think I have.
Took it for a drink on Tuesday.
When he came out, he was a good-looking kid,
We
right?
were making love by Wednesday. Yeah, he was good-looking.
He was a good-looking
He had
kid.
that beard that went round.
Yeah, the strap, the chin strap.
And you'd always say, "Oh, you're trying to do the Craig David."
Yeah, the Craig David was just
I had
the
a
chin
mate
strap.
that tried to do it, man. Like,
Yeah, dude, every Greek, every Lebo, like, they still do it, man. My gym is full of
My mate was
half-those
Aussie
cunts.
as though. It was hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, we gave him so much shit.
Get fucked. Is that him now?
Yeah.
Can I see? Is he all swollen?
Dude, he just
Do you know what happened, dude?
Craig David
What the
got on the
fuck?
pipe.
Yeah, I was gonna. This is the thing.
Dude, what a machine, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He looks healthy there. Have a look at the date for that photo. I was going to say, when he came out, he had that boyish sort of charm, like, you know, it looked pretty cool. Then he disappeared, and when he made his first comeback, he'd buffed up. Like, he was big. Like, he was a unit. I'm like, shit, man, this guy's been, like, eating protein and doing weights for, like, the last 2 years. And I'm like, shit, damn. Then last year...
Damn, Craig.
Then last year, or the end of the year before, like, I'm pretty sure it was the start of last year, he was doing, like, another comeback tour in Australia, I think.
Yeah,
He was releasing a new album.
yeah.
And I was doing the interview, and I'm like, holy fuck, dude, you've withered away. Like he'd hit the pipe, he was just gaunt and just looked old, like weathered. So that would be him just trying to gain some weight back and like in the gym again. It was sad. I'm like, man, I remember this guy. Like every girl I knew wanted him, man, back in high school.
Say no to crack, man.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Anyway, all right.
Anyway, Brian Pumper.
Brian Pumper, let's end it on that note. Nice chat.
Nice chat,
And
ladies.
Johnny's watching you from...
And there goes the podcast.
Yeah, nice seeing you guys. Take it easy, bye. All right, call it, man.
Leverage out.